Hi, welcome to Know People Biographies. Here we bring you the biographies of all notable people in the world, both present and past. Today, we will look at the biography of Paul, an apostle of Jesus, in the next 9 minutes. Before we continue, kindly consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. It will mean the world to us. You can also be a member on Patreon to help us continue making more inspiring biographies. Besides, when you see ads, please don't skip. It will also help us continue doing what we do best. Now, back to the biography of Paul, early life and conversion. St. Paul, also known as Saul of Tarsus, was a prominent early Christian leader and missionary, and one of the most important figures in the early Christian church. He was born in Tarsus, a city in modern-day Turkey, to a Jewish family, and was a devout Pharisee. He was a well-educated man and was fluent in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. He was trained under Gamaliel, a leading Pharisee and teacher of the law, and was present at the stoning of Stephen, the first Christian martyr. Paul was also a Roman citizen, which was a rare privilege and brought many advantages. Before his conversion, Paul was a zealous persecutor of the followers of Jesus. He believed that the followers of Jesus were a threat to the Jewish faith and the Roman Empire. He obtained letters from the high priest, which gave him authority to arrest and bring the followers of Jesus back to Jerusalem. He set out on a mission to persecute the followers of Jesus when he had a vision of Jesus on the road to Damascus. This event is known as his conversion. He was on a mission to persecute the followers of Jesus when he encountered a bright light and heard a voice saying, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" He fell to the ground and was blinded. He then heard Jesus asking him to go to Damascus, and there he would be told what he must do. He was led to the city by the hand and was baptized by Ananias, who restored his sight. After his conversion, Paul began to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and became a powerful and influential figure in the early Christian church. After his conversion, Paul began to preach the message of Jesus Christ and to tell his testimony of his vision on the road to Damascus. He preached in the synagogues of Damascus, where many of the Jews and Gentiles believed in Jesus as the Messiah. However, the Jews who did not believe in Jesus plotted to kill him, so he had to escape from Damascus in a basket through an opening in the city's wall. He then went to Jerusalem to meet with the apostles, but they were afraid of him because of his previous persecution of the followers of Jesus. Barnabas, one of the apostles, introduced him to the other apostles and vouched for his conversion. After spending some time in Jerusalem, he went to Tarsus, his hometown, where he preached and made many converts. After some years, he was called back to Jerusalem by the apostles to help with a problem that arose in the church. He then became an important figure in the early Christian church and helped to spread the message of Jesus Christ throughout the Mediterranean region. He preached in synagogues, in the marketplace, and in the homes of the people. He faced many challenges and obstacles, but he never gave up. His faith in Jesus and his determination to spread the message of salvation helped him to overcome all the challenges. He became one of the most influential figures in the early Christian church, and his impact on Christianity and the history of the world is immeasurable. Missionary journeys and teachings. After his conversion, Paul began to travel throughout the Mediterranean region, spreading the message of Jesus Christ and establishing new Christian communities. He made several missionary journeys, during which he preached the gospel and established new churches. He is believed to have made 3 missionary journeys. The first journey was done with Barnabas, during which they visited the cities of Cyprus, Pisidian Antioch, Iconium, Lystra, and Derbe. The second journey was done with Silas and Timothy, during which they visited the cities of Berea, Thessalonica, Athens, Corinth, Ephesus, and Caesarea. The third journey was done with Timothy, during which they visited the cities of Galatia, Phrygia, Ephesus, and Jerusalem. Paul's teachings emphasized the universality of the gospel and the fact that salvation was available to all people, regardless of their background or status. He taught that faith in Jesus Christ was the only requirement for salvation, and that the law of Moses was no longer necessary for salvation. He also emphasized the importance of living a holy life, and his teachings continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians today. He taught that through faith in Jesus Christ, all people could be reconciled to God, and that the distinctions between Jew and Gentile, slave and free, male and female, were no longer relevant. During his missionary journeys, Paul also established many churches and appointed elders to lead them. He wrote several letters or epistles to these churches, which are included in the New Testament. These letters are considered to be some of the most important and influential texts in the Christian tradition and continue to be studied and admired by Christians around the world. They contain teachings on various topics such as faith, love, and the nature of God, as well as practical advice for living a Christian life. Paul's teachings on the universality of the gospel, that all people can be reconciled to God through faith in Jesus Christ, played a crucial role in the spread of Christianity throughout the Roman Empire and beyond. His emphasis on the importance of living a holy life and his teachings on love and forgiveness continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians today. His missionary journeys and writings have had a profound and lasting impact on Christianity and the history of the world. Death. The exact details of Paul's death are not known, but it is believed that he was martyred for his faith in Jesus Christ. According to tradition, he was beheaded in Rome during the persecution of Christians under the Emperor Nero around the year 64 AD. He is venerated as a saint by the Catholic, Orthodox, and Anglican churches, and his feast day is celebrated on June 29th. St. Paul's death marked the end of his earthly life, but his legacy and impact on Christianity and the history of the world continues to this day. His writings and teachings continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians around the world. He is considered to be one of the most important figures in the early Christian church, and his teachings helped to spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. Legacy and impact. St. Paul's legacy and impact on Christianity and the history of the world is immeasurable. His writings and teachings continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians around the world. He is considered to be one of the most important figures in the early Christian church, and his teachings helped to spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. Paul's writings, also known as Pauline epistles, made a significant contribution to the formation of the New Testament canon. His letters, which are included in the New Testament, are considered to be some of the most important and influential texts in the Christian tradition, and they continue to be studied and admired by Christians around the world. Paul's teachings emphasize the universality of the gospel and the fact that salvation was available to all people, regardless of their background or status. This helped to attract Gentiles to Christianity. He also emphasized the importance of living a holy life, and his teachings continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians today. Paul's emphasis on the universality of the gospel and the fact that salvation was available to all people, regardless of their background or status, played an important role in the formation of Christianity as a world religion. He also played a key role in the development of early Christian theology. His teachings on the nature of Christ and the relationship between faith and works continue to be the subject of ongoing debate and discussion among scholars and theologians. St. Paul's legacy continues to this day. His writings and teachings continue to be an important source of inspiration and guidance for Christians around the world, and his impact on Christians around the world, and his impact on Christianity and the history of the world is immeasurable.